Achieve your goals in 2019. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Damon Cort from NLP Gym, bringing you cutting-edge Neuro Linguistic Programming tools and techniques to help you create the life that you desire. So if that sounds good, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. When climbing the ladder of success, make sure it's leaning against the right building. Now, I couldn't find the origin of that quote. I couldn't find the person who first said that, but it's something you might have heard if you're in personal development and self-help. And what it basically means is you can put a lot of effort into something, into achieving something, only to find out that it's really not for you. I've done this many times in my life, and the 3 tips I'm going to give you about why you're not achieving your goals is really important to keep in mind, because you might be putting that ladder, or you might be climbing that ladder of success, but it's the wrong building. And what I'm about to give you will help you avoid that. Reason number 1 that you're not achieving your goals is you're not aligned with the goal. So what does that really mean? What does alignment mean? That means that you probably have some sort of inner conflict. And what I say about this is it's really your inner wisdom. A lot of times people say, oh, I need to get rid of this part of me that's resisting, or I need to get rid of this part of me that's sabotaging my success. Well, the truth is that many times that is your inner wisdom saying it's not, that you're not aligned with this goal that you're trying to achieve, which means it doesn't align with your values. You want to achieve it and you have a particular value you're trying to fulfill, but in fulfilling that value or achieving that goal, you're actually going to lose something. We often call this ecology. However, if we're talking about this just being internal, it's really congruence. Ecology really has to do with how does your behavior affect others around you and the system of the ecosystem around you as far as your relationships. But congruence has to do with your alignment to something. So maybe you want something, but there's a part of you that doesn't want it, or there's a part of you that will be left behind, or there's a part of you that won't get what it wants or won't get its value fulfilled. So you have an inner wisdom within you that sort of holds you back from getting that. And this was one of the reasons why I wasn't successful in my first business, because I really was not aligned with that business. My top values were not going to be fulfilled. Maybe one value was going to be fulfilled, and I thought if I traded in those other 2 that I could, and fulfill that one value, that I could have everything. And it didn't work because I was miserable the entire time that I was trying to succeed at this. And I just kept thinking, well, that's just my inner resistance. It's just something trying to sabotage me. But no, I wasn't really listening to myself. I wasn't listening to that inner wisdom that was telling me, if you become successful at this, you put this much effort into it, and it doesn't fulfill you, and it's not what you really want to do, the success will probably make me not really pursue, make me feel comfortable enough to not pursue what I really love doing, what my passions are, what the things that bring me real joy. The success, in a sense, would have made me complacent, too complacent to really go after what I wanted, and then I would have never been truly happy. So when you're going after a goal, you want to make sure you're in full alignment with it, which means you're completely congruent with this goal. If there's any resistance that comes up for you in thinking about this goal or pursuing this goal, you have to take care of that resistance in order to achieve it. Otherwise, it will sabotage you. Now, taking care of that resistance doesn't mean trying to get rid of it. It just means trying to go inside and find out what that inner resistance, what is the positive intent of it? What is it trying to fulfill for you in a positive way? What is the value that that inner resistance is trying to fulfill? And this is a lot about just getting to know yourself much better. It's an unconscious part of you, so you just need to go in and make it conscious and reintegrate it. And then maybe you come up with a new goal. But if you're not aligned and congruent with the goal that you want to achieve, you're probably not going to get it. You're not going to accomplish it. And even if you do, you're going to feel miserable and empty. And a good indication of that is if you feel miserable and empty in the pursuit of the goal, chances are the goal is not going to make you feel any better once you achieve it. The second reason you're not achieving your goals is you don't have a vision beyond the goal. In other words, you don't know, or you haven't made conscious what is it that achieving that goal is going to do for you. So if you don't have that vision, if you don't know what the importance of that goal is, what it's going to do for you, what it's going to give you, how is it going to fulfill you, what values will it fulfill for you or satisfy, if you're not aware of that, it's so easy to not do the work. It's so easy to distract yourself from doing the work you need to do in order to achieve the goal. And what will likely happen is you'll just say, whatever, and you'll go find something that gives you more immediate gratification rather than something you're working on long term. Because if you don't understand long term what it is you're working toward, how it's going to fulfill you and gratify you on a much deeper level, if you're not connected with that, then it's going to be just too easy for you to go do something else that gives you immediate gratification. So bring that into consciousness. Know what achieving that goal will do for you. And go really deep with this. The deeper you go with it, the more connected the goal will be to a greater vision of what life you're trying to create. And so the work is really easy to get there because you're focused on the vision. You're not even just focused on the goal, you're focused on something much bigger. You're focused on the vision that achieving that goal is going to help you create. And the third reason you're not achieving your goals is you're too focused on being right. This can happen in many different areas of your life and with relationships. And that's what we often think of when we say, oh, you're only focused on being right, or you're more focused, do you want to be right or do you want to get what you want? This often is the case when we're talking about relationships or we're talking about dealing with other people, but that's not quite what I'm talking about here, though it's the same mechanism that creates both. What I'm talking about here is instead of being focused on the goal and the vision and the values you're wanting to fulfill, you get overly focused on the strategy that you're going about it. And if you get overly focused on the strategy and you put all that emotion, you load all that emotion into the strategy, then it becomes about being right. And when you're not right about this, it's going to crush you. Meaning, if it doesn't work out, if that strategy doesn't work out, it's going to crush you because you've loaded so much of this into your identity and it being about your worthiness, because that's what this idea of being right is really about. It's about self-worth. Strategy should just be disposable. If a strategy doesn't work, you throw it away, you grab a new one. So when you're really connected to the goal and the value that goal is going to fulfill, and you have a full-on vision of how that goal is going to help you get there, then the strategy is just, you see that the strategy is just a small part of the entire process. So you don't get too caught up in the strategy. You don't get so focused on the strategy being right. You don't get focused on you being right, because you're not serving your ego here. You're serving a greater vision of what it is you want to create for your life. So the strategy, you try a strategy, it doesn't work, you throw it away. You try another strategy, if it doesn't work, you throw it away. And you just keep doing that until you find a strategy that works, and you stick to that strategy until it stops working. And that can happen too, because strategies, they're kind of static, and the times change, the situations change, you change. So the strategy often has to change. So get out of being right. Right is really about your ego. Get out of being right and get into your vision. Get into the bigger picture of what it is you want to create, so that you're not so overly focused on strategy. You're not so overly focused on being right. You're focused on a greater vision, a vision of not just the life you want to create for yourself, but how does that vision help other people? How does that vision help your loved ones? How is everyone else a part of your vision? When you start doing that, then you really start to tap into something powerful, far more powerful than being right or just a strategy. So going into 2019, if you want to achieve your goals, watch out for these 3 things that I mentioned that have probably held you back in the past from achieving your goals. Now that you know about them, now that you're conscious of them, you can go into 2019 with your new goals and achieve everything that it is that you want. Check out my free webinar on the 3 problems with NLP trainings today and how to overcome them with one simple solution. This training won't last very long. I will only keep it up for about another 11 days. So claim your training right now. Also, check out my website, nlp-gym.com. There you'll find some more free training, as well as some hypnotic inductions that you can download immediately to your laptop, your phone, or your tablet. Check out NLP Gym on Facebook if you'd like to get real-time updates on whatever it is that I'm up to, possible trainings that I'm doing, online trainings, or possibly even given a talk in your area. Last but not least, if you like this video, please click like right down here. And remember, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Take care.